up, YouTube? This is Brian with BB's Vlogs and Adventures. Today, I'm just going to let you see the street name of what we're going to actually discuss as part of the Fort Worth history. We're going to go into the history of Bird's Fort Trail. What I'm going to do here is actually drive down this road and show you guys this whole trail. Before I actually start to speak about Bird's Fort Trail, let me explain to you about the whereabouts it's located. There is a whole bunch of history right in this location. Now the population of this location is turning into residents, businesses, and that's how I'm gonna have to actually do this video, is by just stopping through some of these residents and businesses. I've already been to one location around here that has two spots that have some history to it. Some can be urban legend, some can be the truth behind our history. Bird's Fort is actually the truth. And legend has it that it didn't happen right on this road. It does say, which we'll get to here in a minute, about how people were buried probably about 200 yards off of the original Bird's Fort area. We've already been over here to experience, in this location, River Legacy Park, where the Screaming Bridge was, which is urban legend. It's a true story. This bridge itself is an urban legend. It's not the same bridge that it happened for. It's a replica of the bridge standing there for the girls that lost their lives on that bridge that night. We also did Hell's Gate. And one day I'm gonna have to take us over to Callaway Cemetery Road. There's a cemetery over there that is actually supposed to be very haunted. I'm gonna set up here and actually do the first part of my lesson, I guess, is what you would want to call it. I don't know why I'm talking with my hands today. I'm not doing a vlog. I'm more of in a little history lesson. I don't even know what I'm putting in this vlog and what not, but I'm going to do it. The road I just took everyone down, showed you guys, is what we call Bird's Fort Trail. Believe it or not, it was established in 1841. It's located here in Arlington, Texas. It is both Arlington, Dallas, and Tarrant County's oldest pioneer settlement. This is the site where Sam Houston, which was, hopefully people know about this or I'm gonna have to turn this into a Texas History Channel. This site is where Sam Houston, the first president of Texas and only president of Texas, signed the first peace treaty of the Republic of Texas with 12 Native American tribes. Here at Bird's Fort, General Edward Tarrant ordered Major Jonathan Byrd's company to construct a fort in the area. Byrd decided on the spot to be north of the Trinity River. The fort was abandoned when they found out it had been built on a land that belonged to the Peters colony. Got the Arlington Parks, they're called the Pallid Bat is what it's identifying. Basically here, the paranormal activity has been taking place in this area for some time. This is no wonder, since it's a very old historical place and a fort, which surely must have seen a number of deaths. When this all happened, it was easy to believe that Jonathan Byrd was coming back to make sure his fort was still being taken care of. Maybe that wasn't the case after all. Is that the actual Byrd Fort is not the real site of the haunting. Could it be over here in River Legacy Park? I kind of think so. Nevertheless, the hauntings are to take place nearby. That is the reason why I think this could be the location. Even before people settled in the Fort Worth area, there were many Indian tribes living in this area. Of course, some of the tribes did not particularly care for each other. All were happy to stand up against the Texas Militia to keep their land. This is the case of the area where Byrd's Fort was built. This is to be true as well. There were 3 tribes in the area at the time of the 1840s. The Caddo, Cherokee, and the Tonkawa. A fight took place. One particular man of significance to mention was John B. Denton, who was eventually buried in Denton County. Indians from the fights were also killed in this skirmish. Then General Edward Tarrant was said to have named Byrd and 100 volunteers from the 4th Brigade of the Texas Militia to build its fort in this area. The fort was built in the fall of 1841, was made of wood with a stockade and a trench. fort did attract new folks to the area, including a man by the name of John Beeman, who brought his family upon returning after visiting the area to see if it was suitable. When he returned, much of the food and supplies had been depleted, and the Indians in the area were still causing trouble for the settlers. So everywhere that I've sitting and I've told you a story is my beliefs that Bird's Fort is somewhere in these woods. It may be a mile or two north from here, and I don't think I might be sitting right on the top of the ground. This is the truth to the story. Now I'm going to take you to another spot that could possibly be it as well. The Indians were said never attack the fort. Ongoing trouble left some men dead, including a man by the name of Wade Raton, who left with several men to find people, end up getting killed by Indians. When the man went back to the place where he was killed by the Indians days later, they found his body. His bulldog was still with him, watching over his body until they returned. The dog was said not to leave the gravesite once Raton was buried about 200 yards from the fort. Could this be where it is? Listen here. Can y'all hear all that? Some wild animals in there. Eventually, the area near the fort became a cemetery of some sort, with other men from the fort buried there after being killed by the Indians in an ambush, as well as one little girl. The settlers all left about 1842 when they just couldn't make a go of it anymore. In 1843, General Tarrant met with the Indians from the area to try and negotiate some peace. It finally happened in what was called the Treaty of Bird's Fort. The fort became simply ruins after that, and today there's nothing here. At one time before construction began, there was a historical marker so people could find the place where the history was made. As for the ghost stories related to the overall history of the area, rumors persist of an Indian warrior riding a horse, a howling dog, and a man in frontier clothing. The dog, it has assumed, is that of Raton, still looking for his master alive. The man in frontier clothing is said to be a regular ghost at Bird's Fort as well. Many visiting the area say that they feel they are being watched. I have that feeling too. The Indian warrior is the most elusive. It has been reported that the ghostly apparition story goes back in time even further than the frontier man, and has been chronicled in older books, noting the era in the area. It was reported that he seems to be there to help women who need assistance. Perhaps pioneer women from the time who might have met up with trouble? I don't know what you think. There are so many thoughts of what a fort would look like. I would think that a fort would be something where you can see from pretty much from afar away to make sure you are not going to be ambushed, or if there is an ambush coming, you will see it. So I'm about to take a drive, and what I'm about to show you is a huge hill on top of the area that would make sense that that would be the top of that fort. So this is the conclusion of Bird's Fort. I am going to take us on a couple of drives, and you tell me on these 1-minute clips what clips you think Bird's Fort is at. I think it's somewhere in these woods in River Legacy Park, along with Hell's Gate, Screaming Bridge. I just happen to think that it's not on this side. I'll make a note at the very end where I think Bird's Fort is probably located. If you would, please, it would mean the world to me if you like the video. That's that thumbs up, please. Subscribe to the video. I'm gonna have a lot more content that's coming soon that everybody's gonna like. Share the video. That way we can get a community going, talk about some of these things. And as always, thank you for watching.